Power isn't something you're born with. It's not passed down like a family heirloom. And it's definitely not handed to the loudest guy in the room or the one who gets the most attention. According to Niccolò Machiavelli, the man who broke down how fear, control, and influence really work. Power is something you build, piece by piece, day by day, through relentless self-mastery. Not by charm, not by talent, but through habits sharp enough to slice through distraction, mediocrity, and softness like a blade. In The Prince, Machiavelli laid out the psychology of rulers. How they rise, how they stay there, and how they make others submit without ever drawing a weapon. He didn't talk about hustle hacks or morning routines. He talked about patterns, subconscious behaviors that harden a man into someone others instinctively obey. This isn't about productivity, it's about becoming someone entirely different. So if you're tired of being overpowered in rooms where you should be respected, if you're done wasting energy on people who drain you, if you're sick of being overlooked while louder men take the lead, then this is where it begins. You build the habits of the Machiavellian elite. Habit 1. Control your face before you control the room. Anyone who's ever held power knows the battlefield starts with your expression. Machiavelli warned that when people can read your emotions, they can manipulate your actions. A visible emotion is a readable mind. And once they can read your mind, they can bend it. So you build emotional neutrality. No twitching, no darting eyes, no expressions asking for approval, no involuntary smiles, no flinching at insults. Praise doesn't soften you. Chaos doesn't shake you. When everything breaks, your face stays still. That quiet stillness becomes threatening. Because people fear what they can't read, and they obey what they fear. Habit 2. Think in terms of leverage, not effort. The average man asks, how hard do I need to work? The powerful man asks, where is the lever that moves everything else? Machiavelli taught that rulers don't strive to do it all. They find pressure points, systems, people, decisions that ripple outward. This is how you stop being a worker and start being an architect. Don't aim to be efficient. Design a machine that performs without you. Don't chase compliments. Craft a position so strong, they come to you. You don't argue to win. You shift the entire conversation, so you never need to argue at all. Powerful people ask one question. What action can I take today that makes everything else irrelevant or easy? Then they only do that. Habit 3. Speak less. Watch more. Control everything. In The Prince, Machiavelli warned that the man who speaks constantly weakens himself with every word. Powerful people say little, but when they do it, cuts deep. It's measured, it's sharp, and it's hard to refute. Here's the habit. Cut your words in half. Drop filler phrases like, I think just, or kind of. Leave silences where others would ramble. Use silence like a weapon. Observe more than you speak. Let people reveal their insecurities while you take mental notes. Your silence isn't fear. It's precision. In a noisy world, the quiet one sets the pace. Habit 4. Be feared for what you might do, not what you've already done. Power doesn't come from your resume. It comes from the uncertainty you generate. Fear doesn't require action. It requires possibility. Hold back sometimes. Don't show every skill. Don't clarify every rumor. Don't respond to every insult. Leave people wondering what would happen if you really let loose. What if you're holding back that fear of the unknown version of you is more powerful than any story of your past? Mystery outperforms history. Habit 5. Make yourself scarce and impossible to replace. Machiavelli advised princes to appear accessible, but never be too available. Familiarity breeds contempt. If they can always reach you, they'll stop respecting you. So protect yourself with two shields: scarcity and irreplaceability. Don't take every meeting. Don't answer every call. Don't show up where everyone else is. And above all, master a skill no one else can duplicate. Be so vital to the mission that your absence causes discomfort. When people know you're rare and necessary, they guard their connection to you. You don't beg for relevance. You become a necessity. Habit 6. Keep allies close but always stay in control. Powerful people don't walk alone, but they don't mistake alliances for friendships either. Machiavelli was clear. Alliances serve a purpose. They're not sacred, they're tools, not anchors. Build relationships that help you move forward, and break them when they no longer serve the mission. This isn't about being fake. It's about staying unattached enough to avoid emotional leverage being used against you. Praise in public. Watch in silence. Cut ties quietly. Keep them thinking they're close without ever letting them touch your core. You should always be the one who needs less. If any bond starts to feel like a leash, it's time to let go. The powerful man doesn't lean, he uses. And when the balance shifts, he walks away without flinching. Habit 7. Anticipate betrayal before loyalty breaks. Machiavelli warned, betrayal isn't rare, it's inevitable. Not because people are evil, but because they're self-interested. The loyal friend today becomes a rival when ambitions change. The business partner becomes a leech. The supporter becomes a threat. So develop the cold habit of scanning, a shift in tone, a delayed response, a strange new alliance, a favor that's now an excuse. Don't panic. Don't lash out. Log it. Build backup plans. Prepare exits. Be ready to act before the knife is ever drawn. The man who prepares for betrayal doesn't bleed. He just moves on while others are still sharpening their blades. Habit 8. React slowly. Strike clean. The weak lash out. They respond immediately. Their emotions flood their decisions. Their reactions are messy, loud, and ineffective. Machiavelli taught the opposite. Wait and then strike with clarity. You don't jab, you execute. You don't explode, you decide. When insulted, don't flinch. When challenged, go still. And then respond with precision. One sentence, one consequence. No drama, no argument, just a quiet end to the matter. That stillness builds dread, because no one knows when you'll move. But when you do, it's already too late. Habit 9. Control the frame, especially in silence. Machiavelli understood something most people miss. Power isn't about dominating conversations. It's about defining the context in which all conversations happen. You don't need to win the argument. You just need to decide what the argument is even about. When a powerful person walks into a meeting, they've already shaped the outcome. They define roles before anyone speaks. They don't push back with resistance. They redirect the conversation entirely. Phrases like, "That's not the issue," or "Let's focus on results," instantly reshape the terrain. Even without words, they dominate the frame. Their eye contact is unshakable. Their posture is calm but commanding. Their pace is slower than the room. Their silence dares others to speak carefully. And when they do speak, it's not just with opinions. It's with framing. This isn't about blame, it's about impact. Let's not argue what's fair, let's look at what works. They don't enter debates. They redefine them. And everyone else adapts. Habit 10. Operate in shadows. Reward in public. Machiavelli warned that public praise isn't personal, it's political. The powerful know the value of visibility. What people see builds loyalty, but what they don't see builds true control. Behind the curtain is where decisions happen. Alliances form, Strategies unfold. Punishments are delivered silently, without spectacle. But when rewards come, they're public. Why? Because it triggers desire. People want to be noticed. They crave recognition. And when the powerful give it, it feels like a blessing. That visible generosity creates hierarchy without resistance. So while others make noise about every move, the powerful stay quiet until it serves them. That contrast builds mystique. It creates a political ecosystem where people fight to stay in their good graces and fear being outside of them. Habit 11. Rebuild constantly, but in silence. This might be the most lethal habit of all. The weak plateau. They get a little success and start celebrating. They become predictable, stagnant, vulnerable. The powerful do the opposite. They evolve behind closed doors. They don't announce their upgrades. They deploy them. They see a flaw and fix it quietly. They study in silence, practice in shadows. And then one day they walk into a room, sharper, colder, more focused than before. And no one saw it coming. They don't post about new mindsets. They become the mindset. They don't need applause because their actions force respect. By the time you realize they've changed, it's already too late to keep up. Power for them isn't about looking the part. It's about constantly killing the weaker version of themselves and replacing it with a more dangerous one. Now comes the deeper shift, execution. You've learned the posture. You've internalized the psychology. But now it's time to systemize it. Machiavelli wouldn't just want you to know power. He'd want it etched into your instincts so that it becomes the default. This is where you stop trying to be powerful and start being it. Because real power doesn't come from inspiration. It comes from preparation. So let's get tactical. Start by scripting your automatic responses. Not ideas, not feelings. Scripts. If someone disrespects you, what will you say? If someone crosses your line, what's the sentence you deliver without flinching? That doesn't work for me. Let's not repeat that. This ends here. Say it. Practice it. Refine it until it's automatic. Then build rituals that keep your edge sharp. Morning stillness to rehearse composure. Evening review to scan for weakness. Tactical solitude so you never forget how to be whole without noise. Train yourself to confront discomfort daily. Cold showers, awkward pauses, silent rejections. This isn't about toughness. It's about building reflexes. Your nervous system should default to calm control. Build your internal war room. Every day, review yourself like a spy. Ask, where did I give up control today? Who shifted your tone? Who got a reaction out of you? Replay moments. Did you hold frame? Did your silence carry weight? Who pushed your boundaries and walked away untouched? Do weekly audits. Identify patterns, people habits, or thoughts that weaken your edge. Do monthly audits of your image. What's your reputation? What do people think you'll tolerate, and does that match your actions? You're not aiming for perfection. You're aiming for precision. Track what matters. Refine what's weak. What you monitor, you improve. What you ignore will ruin you quietly. Turn your time into a fortress. No one enters without permission. Machiavelli taught that a wise prince must learn not to be good, especially when it comes to generosity. In the modern world, that means your time is sacred. You don't take every call. You don't attend every meeting. You don't reply just because someone reached out. Your attention is earned, not assumed. If it's not essential to your mission, it's a distraction. Cut it, delay it, or let it die. That's not arrogance. That's sovereignty. And in a world where everyone is busy being available, your unavailability becomes power. Master emotional distance. The weak drown in emotion or suppress it entirely. The powerful do something else. They observe it. They feel, but they don't react on command. They notice anger, betrayal, guilt, but they weaponize it strategically. Someone insults you. You absorb it, store it, and act only when it costs them, not when it satisfies you. You don't express emotion when it's felt. You release it when it's useful. That's what makes you dangerous. Emotion isn't your weakness, it's your arsenal. Used right, it becomes firepower. Build a reputation you can hide behind. Machiavelli said that once a prince has a reputation, he doesn't need to act. His image does the work. That's your goal. Let people say, he doesn't tolerate that. Let rumors handle your boundaries. You only need to enforce once. The echo will carry. Withdraw with dignity. Don't over-explain. Don't chase. Just disappear. Silence lasts longer than explanation. Eventually, your name becomes a filter. People adjust before they speak to you. They behave better without you saying a word. Because the most dangerous man isn't the one who strikes the hardest. It's the one who never needs to. Evolve without announcing. The weak love to document every upgrade, every win, every resolution, every new version of themselves. But the powerful, they move like the seasons. Quietly, completely, and without asking permission. Machiavelli's most dangerous principle was this: never let them see you coming. So when you level up, say nothing. Don't share your transformation. Don't post about it. Don't ask for applause. Let your results be the announcement. Let your new presence be the proof. And by the time they realize you've changed, you're already too far ahead to catch. You don't need to perform progress. You become something unrecognizable. And once people stop understanding you, they stop challenging you. You've moved beyond their map. At this point, you've done more than shift your mindset. You've engineered a new identity. Your habits don't need reinforcement. They reinforce you. Your posture speaks before your mouth does. Your silence enforces boundaries louder than shouting ever could. You've built internal systems that protect your time, your focus, and your energy. But now comes the final layer. The transmission. Because true power isn't just internal. It radiates. It infects the room. It rearranges people's behavior before you say a word. That's what you're aiming for. Now. Embodied dominance. The kind of presence that changes people's tone when you walk in. You don't need to demand respect. You become someone they automatically defer to. Master your nonverbal command. Your posture should be upright but not rigid. Shoulders back. Movements slow, deliberate, never rushed. Your eyes calm, detached, observant. You're not seeking connection, you're assessing. When you enter a space, pause. Not out of hesitation, but as an evaluation. That pause tells people you're not adapting to their tempo. They're adapting to yours. You smile less, you nod rarely. Your face stays composed, not lifeless, just unreadable. That unreadability, that's power. Machiavelli said a prince must appear strong, even when he is not. Because perception controls outcomes. If you look soft, you are soft. So every day you rehearse, not your lines, not your image, but your presence. Because your presence is the signal. Everything else follows. Next, become a resource others fight to keep. Power isn't about popularity. It's about value. And the most powerful people turn themselves into rare assets. You master something vital. You solve problems no one else can. But, and this is key, you don't make yourself easy to access. People must earn your time, earn your trust, earn proximity. You maintain strict control over how and when you show up. And when you do, you over-deliver. You bring insights others couldn't see. clarity others couldn't find. You solve in seconds what others wrestle with for hours. You become like a blade, quiet in the sheath, unforgettable when drawn. Handle threats with silence, not spectacle. Machiavelli advised, when punishment is necessary, it must be delivered quickly and all at once. No theatrics, no debate, no second chances. You don't argue. You don't rant. You observe, and when the time is right, you act, clean, cold, and final. A door closes, a connection ends, a reputation evaporates, quietly. The world doesn't see the knife, just the result. And that's the point. The punishment isn't public. The message is. And over time, people internalize the cost of crossing you. You won't need to enforce boundaries with words. They'll be enforced through legend. Because when people whisper, "Don't test him, don't lie to her, don't push too far," your reputation protects you. And it travels faster than any argument ever could. You must now become a myth. Machiavelli knew something crucial. Stories outlive actions. Reputation outlasts performance. If a prince cultivates mystique, if he becomes a symbol, his influence continues even in his absence. So stop trying to be relatable. Start becoming legendary. Make people curious. Let your silence be the soil in which their assumptions grow. Don't clarify. Don't correct. Let the whispers do the work. He never speaks unless it matters. She's colder than she used to be. No one really knows what he's building. But it's going to be massive. You don't need to build a brand. You build a presence so potent that others construct your brand for you. Not with logos, but with stories, tension, mystery, and memory. The powerful don't just live. They haunt. They linger. Long after they leave a room, their impact remains. Architect your environment to match your new identity. Machiavelli would never allow a sharp mind to operate in a foolish domain. So now you rework your external world to reflect your internal command. Start with your space. Remove clutter. Simplicity sharpens thought. Create symbols. An office others feel unworthy to sit in, a desk that radiates decisiveness, a space reserved for stillness and review. Audit your circle. Remove the talkers, the reactors, the aimless. Replace them with strategic allies, even if they're fewer in number. Power thrives in quality, not noise. Then restructure your schedule. Design your calendar like a fortress. People should feel lucky to find a gap in it. Protect 2 to 3 hours daily for uninterrupted high-intensity work. Not emails, not meetings, war room hours. This is no longer habit building. This is throne building. Reset power daily. Or watch it slip. The world doesn't care who you were yesterday. You had dominance. Good. That was yesterday. You enforced boundaries. Good. They forget. Machiavelli's final warning: power is never owned, it's rented, and the rent is due every day. Each morning you reset the frame. You recommit to presence. You rehearse silence. You ask yourself, what would the most dangerous version of me do today? And then you do it. Not because you feel strong, but because you are the force others must now reckon with. You've embodied every habit. You've trained your posture, your tone, your silence, your timing. You've moved from performance to principle, from theory to instinct. You're no longer acting powerful. You are power. You walk into rooms like a storm, quiet, looming, and impossible to ignore. Your words are precise. Your gaze is final. You don't ask for respect. You require it by existing. And from this point forward, you don't wait. You don't beg. You don't hope. You move, you command, you are. And the world adapts.